Well, a very good evening, everybody, and welcome for the delay. Oh, sorry, apologies for the delay on loading there. Seem we have a bit of an issue with one of the drivers. But hello and welcome to Delta T Racing. Tuesday night, we have returned ready for season 5. We are starting off the season with a pre-season event at Belgium. So obviously a few drivers are missing. Obviously due to holidays, other commitments, little thing that's going on in Qatar at the moment as well, the World Cup. So obviously lost a few drivers with that, but fingers crossed everybody should be back for round number 1 next week. So we're just waiting to see who's going to be the first driver to jump out. Let me get the telemetry up. So first out of the pits is Lanzi, so we'll jump on board with Lanzi for the time being. Okay, so as I say, pre-season this week at Belgium. We start off the calendar next week. Bring up season 5 calendar. There we go. So next week we start at Bahrain and go off to China and Singapore. So we get those out of the way just before Christmas. Obviously with a 2-week Christmas break. We then return with Australia, Italy in Imola. So that'll be a sprint race. Monaco, Monza in Italy as well. Then we've got Britain, which is a sprint race weekend. Portugal, Hungary. Canada again will be the final sprint, round number 11, and then the season finale coming up, round number 12 at Kota, which is where we had the Race of Champions this season. So had a few changes around this season as well. With different drivers, where we go with Lanzi, weren't we? Jumped over them. So let's jump on board with Lanzi and follow him round for the first lap for Division 1 DTR this season. So just give us an insight as to how the drivers are going to be performing for the upcoming season. Obviously defending champion Shabby unavailable tonight, winner of 3 of the last 4 championships in Division 1, so quite a dominant force, but we do have some new quick drivers coming in, and we will see what they can do. But we have obviously Tool in, currently 4th at the moment, but not setting a lap. Junus, Delgusi as well, sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. Who else do we have? Toxic as well. So Toxic, I understand, is a blooming quick driver, so it'd be good to see him in action tonight. But so we're just going to stay on board with Lanzi just to put the opening time down, and then we'll see how everybody else is doing behind him. Coming towards the final sectors of the lap now, so 12:13 now going around around Stavelot, so we'll be looking now along into Blanchimont, be flat out here. So we do have turns 16 and 17 here, but it's not really 17 nowadays being flat out to the old bus stop chicane, turn number 18. It keeps that tight, good drive there, off onto the line. Let's see what time he puts us down. We open with a 44.011 from Lanzi. And Toolmate straight away with a 42.5. I'm just going to have a quick look at Toxic as well. He's on his out lap at the moment. So who do we have? Yari coming towards the end of his lap. Has invalidated. How is Mamba doing? He is currently purple in Sector 2. So we'll see how he can do in Sector 3. Dimax putting in a 43.641 to go into second place there. Stav, our Division 2 driver, with 44064. Remember now coming across the line and puts it at 43.528, so just under a second away. So Tool already putting a bit of a marker down, a second clear of pretty much everybody else there. Who else we have on a lap? Stendhal is just about to start. I think he's on a slow lap there. So let's jump on with Federico Toxic. We'll see how he gets on his debut for DTR. As I say, I have heard very good things about him, that his pace is up there with the quickest that we have. So I'm hoping that has not put the kibosh on, and just looking up as well. So I've been a bit distracted today, but obviously got the World Cup and the England game on. England are 1-0. I think that might be 2-0 now. Up against Wales. Yep, England 2-0 up. So right, okay, back to the job in hand. Apologies for that. So jump, following with Federico. Comes towards double gorge. And 10 and 11, certainly do not want to touch the inside curve there. It will throw you out as quick as anything. So speed being carried well around there by Federico. Now coming up to campus. Turn 14, flat out around Stavelot, and 15 will now be going absolutely flat down here. We have a car ahead. Hopefully it has got out of the way, which it has, as he goes round Blanchard up, keeps that tight and absolutely flat. Now up towards the bus stop chicane, so turns 18 and 19 to go, and then we'll see what time Federico's going to put on. 42, 43, 44.861, so it could just be a banker for him. So Jonas here as well has actually managed to get into the lobby now. Was having connection issues earlier, but good to see he has managed to get in. Although I think the connection is the best there, but we will see. So puts him into fourth place with a 43.714. Who are on their outlaps. So currently looking at it, too late mate, putting in a stonker of a lap, 42.539. Currently leads the way by nearly a second from Mamba with a 43.528. We've got Dimex just behind on 43.641. Then New Boy Jonas in 43.714. And then Lansley in fifth, going into the 44s. Still to set a lap, we have KVKFC, who we are on board with now. Just watching coming up towards turn number 1. I think that nice and tight rides a bit of inside curb. That's fine, not too much outside curb, or you will lose traction. Heading now down towards Eau Rouge and Radion, and then up onto the Kemmel Straight. We'll see what his sector time is. .29.7, so not too bad, but not the quickest that we have seen so far. Fox Blue just behind. 29.7, so similar pace to KVK there. Dimex, he's just starting his lap, so who is towards the end of the lap is going to be Yari. It's going to be the next to set a time. Going up a slow moving car there, I think just getting out of the way. So Yari now coming round Blanchimont up to the bus stop chicane. Just put these last two corners, get the throttle down and see what time, or just disappear into the pits. Okay, right, let's go back to KVK, who spins unfortunately there, so that will be that lap ruined for him just after Stavelot. So it looks like he has cleared out of the way now with Fox Blue coming round, but it ruined that lap and probably that set of tyres as well for KVK. So Fox Blue just coming around now. See what banker time Fox Blue can put on the board. 43.492, so a good lap there. If Fox Blue promoted from Division 2 last season, certainly has some pace, so it'd be interesting to see how he gets on in Division 1 this year. So I tell you who is on a lap. If my controller won't let me get up there. There we go. Okay, Toolmate is on a lap, although he has invalidated. KVK is now out of qualifying. Just like turn number 7. Got him there, but right, okay, so who do we have on a lap? So Stendhal has just started a hot lap. Wesley is coming towards Bruxelles at turn number 8. We'll see where Wesley can put himself back in. Familiar Alfa Romeo will be teaming up with Shabby this season. So after taking a season to go from the Alfa Romeo into the Ferrari, they've gone back again, so it'd be good to see them in familiar colours. I will run through the lineup shortly. We do have people now out on their second runs. I think Lanzi is probably going to be next to set a lap unless he comes into the pits, which I think he has. Okay, so we will stay on board with Wesley just coming into the final turn. Wesley puts in a 43.424 to move himself up into 3rd place. Stendhal will be next across the line. Post his first time, so 10th place with a 43.921. I think he's got more pace in him there. Junior's 43.7 in 8th place there. Who is the next across the line? Is it Dimex has gone? We've got coming to the pits. So next, I think it's Stav, although he has invalidated his lap as well. Toolmate has, or Toolate mate, sorry, he is into the pits, but still leading by 3/4 of a second over his nearest challenger. Okay, so back on track. So Stendhal now looking to put a second lap in. Very close to invalidating there, just about managed to keep it. So coming round towards the long straight with into Blanchimont into the Boston chicane. So we'll see what time he can put down. So currently with 43.921. Goes. Okay, so Judas is next. He really is bad connections. We're jumping about all over the place. We really need to get that sorted out for next week, please. So does not improve. Delgesu, say another new driver to us on his debut today. So Toxic is on a slow lap here. Keep an eye on Brent and Yari on their out laps. I'd like to jump on with one of those for the majority. So Frico just getting out of the way. And we'll now look at going on so he's fast up, so Yari just behind as well, so we can keep an eye on both of those. Just going to jump on board with Toxic. Put a little bit of pressure on him for his debut. See what times he is, nearly 2 tenths up on his time at 44.8, so looking for a lot more improvement on that to get anywhere near the front of the grid. We've got some traffic coming up in front of him, cars on their out laps. I think we've got the Hasses, or is it the Mercedes? It's the Hass. Yari doesn't get caught up in that as well. Looks like he has managed to clear one of the cars, but now has the 2 Hasses to go. Dimex out of the session as well. I wasn't sure if that was a retirement or whether he has crashed out on. Wonder if he's had enough to watch the football for the rest of qualifying. But Rico Toxic now coming to the end of the lap, just the bus stop chicane, or so we keep calling it that. It's like it's not anymore. 44.5 keeps him in 12th position. Yari just behind. 42.7, so Yari catapults up into 2nd place. But too late mate. Just starting another lap. So let's just have a look and see where he's getting this speed from. So he's still 2.5 tenths, so a quarter of a second up on Yari. You've seen it chip down, as it was originally, but over a second he was quicker, went down to 3/4, and Yari now bringing it down to within a quarter of a second, but we'll see what Too Late Mate can do. So I missed his sector 1 time there, but we'll be able to pick up sector 2 shortly. We are approaching the sector 2 time, and he's half a hundredth up. But could still be looking to put these 2 laps with both be good enough for pole position currently. So no jug crossing the line. He will not improve on 3rd, drops down into 4th now, lands he up into 3rd, 43.134. Now looking tall, 8 mate comes across and improves to a 42.381. Mamba now coming towards the end of his lap. Can he improve on his 43.5? Looks like he might be able to. Can he get it into the 42s? No, 43.295, 5th on the grid. Still pretty good from Mamba. I'm sure he'll be happy with that. Okay, Del Gusu again on his debut. Coming across. Improves ever so slightly on time, but not on position, and stays into 11th. Wesley, I think, is the last person on track. So let's see what time Wesley is. Past 150 odd already, so I think he will be coming into the pits. So that is the grid set, with Too Late Mate taking pole position on his debut in Division 1. And what a time it was as well. I think in the end, getting half a second clear of his nearest competitor, Yari, so he's 4/10 of a second. But a cracking lap by him, so certainly he's going to be the man to beat in the race if he can take that pace forward. So Too Late Mate taking pole position in the Haas, Yari putting in a late lap to snatch second in the Alpine, then Lanzi in the Haas in third, No Jug in fourth in the AlphaTauri. Sorry No Jug, I missed all of your laps. I'll catch you in the race. Mamba coming in to fifth, then we have Wesley, Fox Blue, Dimex, Stavroulis, Junus on his debut getting 10th, Delgusu getting 11th, Stendon in 12th, Farico Toxic 13th, so we'll see what he does in the race. KVKFC and Brent apparently crashing on an outlap, so wasn't able to put a competitive time in, but hopefully he'll be able to do that in the race.
It's Sunday, and that means it's race time here in Spa. As the cars are being prepared, let's join them trackside for the start of the Belgian Grand Prix. So here we are once again, ready to go racing through the Ardennes forest. 4.35 miles of long straights, fast corners and massive elevation changes. It makes this not only one of the most exciting circuits on the calendar, but one that makes for some consistently high quality racing as well. Simply put it, there's no place quite like it.
Well, welcome back everybody. We are just waiting for the drivers to finish off their tyre and their tyre strategies for the race. It does look to be dry. There certainly hasn't been any mention of rain, which is good. Okay, so what do we have on tyres? Let's have a quick look at that just to see what everybody is on. And we have Too Late Mate and Yari both going for the hard tyres. Pretty much everybody else going for the mediums, other than Dimex in 8. So I think the medium hard is pretty much the strategy. Certainly for the top 10, we've got 3 that aren't. So it will play out. We will see how it goes. So Too Late Mate leading them round on the formation lap. As I say, we are expecting a return of some of our drivers next week. Certainly Shabby. I know he's been away recently, so it's catching up when we get back. Also next week I'm hoping to reunite everybody with the duo of myself, Melboy, and the return of Bogarovsky, if we can get cover on the other division, which I think we have now. It does mean that we will be able to co-commentate again, so I look forward to that. Big shout out to Bog, who is in Spain at the moment, having a little bit of a break. Hope you're having some nice downtime, enjoying yourself, and I look forward to catch up when you get back. So 22 laps of Spa Francorchamps. I say originally, I think nearly a 15-kilometre track using public roads, basically through the Ardennes forest. So obviously been shrunk down over the years to where we are now, but you used to be looking at about a 3.25 minute lap. So yeah, if you think it's bad now at 1 minute 40, if you used to be looking at sort of 3.25 minutes, certainly wouldn't have got bored there. Wouldn't want to do 22 laps either, would you? But right, okay, so jumping on board, tail end of the grid will be Brent. So as soon as he gets into England, or 3-0 up as well. Sorry, getting distracted with that. Once he gets himself into his grid position, we will be good to go for the light sequence and the beginning of... Do we get a decent camera angle? Doesn't look like we do. We'll jump on board with Mamba just for the moment to see how we go, and the lights are out and away we go. And it looks like a cracking start by Tool 8 Mate, straight away with his teammate Lanzi behind him, and it's been run a little bit wide there, but doesn't seem to have been too much contact, although we are going 3 wide, which is never a good idea going up through Eau Rouge. But we've seen we've got through. A few people have got a little bit wide, so I think there'll be a few warnings there. But Tool 8 Mate seems to have checked out already. Mamba up into 2nd place. I'm not quite sure what happened to Lanzi there. I think he might have just got himself in the wrong position, got run out wide at turn number 1, but was looking directly behind his teammate at one point. Jumping back, we have Wesley now making a move on Junus, and now looking to make a move on Diamex directly in front of him, just behind Delgusu, and Brent having a nice battle as well. Brent goes out, driven out a little bit wide there, so puts him to the back of the field. Going to come back to this battle with Wesley, seems to be the closest one on track at the moment. Other than the overtake I've just missed of Stenton getting past Toxic. Okay, so we have settled down a bit. Yari is the closest at the moment to Lanzi, looking to get past that Haas in front of him. Tool 8 Mate with a 150.125, already 1.1 seconds clear of Mamba. The front 3 have strung out ever so slightly. I mean, it's a second between each of them, so when we do get to the DRS that will be enabled at the end of next lap. Brent into the pits. Has he got wing? Yeah, front wing damage, so not the start to the season Brent would have wanted, but luckily it is pre-season. Mamba, good to see him doing well at the beginning. Normally works his way up. You know, he has a dreadful amount of luck at the beginning and then manages to work his way up into a decent position towards the end. So fingers crossed he can keep that. We've got No Jug just behind No Jug, one of our esports drivers, and will be commentating on Division 4 for us this year. So a very good driver, has worked his way well. We're pretty much catapulted up through the ranks. I remember racing with him a couple of seasons ago at Saudi Arabia, and he certainly wasn't slow there, but he's got quicker and quicker and quicker. Fox Blue, as I say, in 4th place coming up from Division 2, so certainly holding his own so far. Okay, so those 3 are pretty much strung out. We don't have too much close, well, I say close battling, though we're within a second of each other, but we still haven't got anyone that's actually just pushing that little bit at the moment. But Tool 8 Mate with a 47.149, now 1.5 seconds clear of Mamba. DRS now enabled, so we should start seeing some moves down the Kemmel Straight now. Here we go. Doesn't look like we have anyone too close, although saying that Yari is looking for a move on the inside of Lanzi and makes it cleanly. So Yari up into 5th place after qualifying 2nd. Yeah, qualifying second. We'll look at trying to regain some of those positions and see if he can put Toolmate under any pressure at all. Gap now at the top, just reducing down ever so slightly to 1.3 seconds. So it does look like Mamba has got the pace to at least keep him honest. We'll see if he can close him down and look at making a move on him. Right, let's hide the information for now as we don't need it. So we've got a mixture of tyres. So I expect to probably start seeing pit stops from about lap 8 onwards. Obviously quite early, but some will come in and look at getting the undercut. The field's starting to string out just a little bit now. We're getting more towards a second gap between them all, but Yari is now closing on to the back of his teammate Fox Blue, who I do not think will make it very difficult for him to get past at all. Obviously give him a bit of a tow and give him the DRS up onto the Kemmel Straight, which will put my teeth back in, will launch Yari past and up into fourth place. He'll now be after No Jug, although we do have a bit of a battle behind with Fox Blue and Dimex. It was Lanzi getting past Fox Blue there, so obviously letting Yari through, trying to protect him a little bit, but Lanzi making a bolt for it and moving himself up in the fifth, so he is moving up nicely as well. Lanzi obviously last season again was in Division 2, but he was a more than capable driver for Division 1. It was just availability, so good to see him back amongst the elite, and we look forward to his races this year. Hopefully he'll have a bit more luck than he normally does. But I think you can probably say that for 90% of the drivers. Just seems to have dreadful luck. So Mamba picking up a penalty. Can only assume that is for track limits, but that Mamba so early as we're only on lap 4. I do wonder if it might have been that he picked up a couple of warnings right at the beginning, so quite easy to pick up a warning or two at the Fox Blue I saw just went right. Yeah, Fox Blue out of the race, so not quite sure what happened there. He just got himself onto the start-finish line. I think perhaps a little bit too keen on the throttle. And after complimenting Fox Blue, he does that to me. So that's the last compliment you'll get off me this season, Fox Blue. But unfortunate, there we have our first retirement on lap number 5. Luckily has not brought out a safety car. But too late. Currently loving life in front. 2 seconds ahead. Saving his ERS, just interesting to see when he does pit, but he is on the hard tyre, so he will be going long anyway, which makes it even more impressive, the fact that he's 2 seconds ahead of Mamba, and I think Mamba is on the mediums. He is. So yeah, impressive pace there from Toole. I wonder what he is going to do once he's on the mediums. Right, so looking now, Stav is Wesley picking up a 3-second time penalty there as well for multiple warnings, around 13th place, 14 seconds behind 12th. I don't think he's going to be too worried about that one. So we have a safety car. Why do we have a safety car? Is it a safety car or a VSC? So we have a virtual safety car. First one of the day. I'm not quite sure why. No, I wonder if it was a delayed reaction to the Fox Blue incident, but it was very delayed. Only other thing is if somebody did spin, but we seem to be okay now. So yes, we have a virtual safety car. Hopefully nobody gets caught underneath, and we are go again. I think that caught a lot of people by surprise, to be honest. So too late now, only just over a second, so certainly a big gainer for Mamba in under that virtual safety car. Was pretty much 2.5 seconds behind. I think Tool 8 was very late responding to it. Sometimes the signals aren't brilliant in this game, but it does look like Mamba has got a good jump. So now a second with the DRS enabled. If he can just pull himself up a little bit more, he can certainly look at pulling up, or at least keeping with Tool 8. I think even if he can do that, save some ERS. So this is now the closest we have with the three of, oh, bit of a snap there from Stender, managed to keep that out of the wall. Lose a little bit of time to KVK, but should still keep himself within the DRS. Yari now closing on No Jug. Will the Alpine look to make a move on the AlphaTauri on this lap, or do you think just sit behind and wait for the Kennel Straight? But we are going to be, as I say, going towards tyre changes soon. I think Yari is going to be passed as quick as possible, and then obviously he will be on the hunt for Mamba. But Mamba with that 3-second penalty, got to take that into account. Oh, Yari now picking up a 3-second time penalty as well. So it's the gloves are off now. Lanzi spinning round, unfortunately after bringing himself back up the field, dropping back to 11th. What is going on up here? Mamba, oh Mamba! Bless him. Right, so Yari is past No Jug as well in all of that excitement, and so Yari up into second place, but now 4.2 seconds behind Tool 8. So Tool 8 finds himself with a big lead there. But Mamba, what happened? Has he got damage? I think he is going to come in, obviously put a set of hards on now, take him to the end of the race. Not sure if he will get out ahead of Brent or not. I think it's going to be close. Let's jump back. Stav now with the DRS open, with Junus in front of him. KVK is out of the race. What's happened to KVK? It looks like he has been caught up going through Eau Rouge. No, I think it's Radian, second part of Radian. And we have a full safety car, so it's certainly going to be helpful for Mamba. Going to be happy with that. It's going to put him back in, onto the back of the pack. So let's have a quick look at tyres. Okay, so 7 lap hour. I mean, Mamba is the only person to have stopped so far. I think they're all under a delta, unfortunately. Otherwise, Mamba could have found himself in a very good position there. Obviously, Tool 8 is not going to pit, I wouldn't have thought. I don't think he'd be looking at doing 14 laps on medium, so he'll keep going on the hards. But it's just whether No Jug's going to jump in now and put those mediums on. Yari, oh, Tool 8 has come in. Yeah, No Jug in, Yari in. Oh, and Junus there giving Dimex a little bit of a love tap. It's hello, I'm here at DTR. We like to use brakes here, so I think the only one who's not going to pit is going to be Mamba. I don't know if he's going to get round enough to make some time up here, or make some places up. He'll certainly make time up. Stendon is now out. It's going to be close, but I don't think Mamba is going to make up any places here. No, he's not. No, but he'll be right on the back of the grid either way, or back of the pack, should I say. Okay, so lap number 9 it's completing. Obviously 13 laps to go on the completion of this. We will serve at least another lap. I think probably 2 laps behind the safety car, judging by the distance that I think it's Brent is the last car. No. Well, Brent is the last car, and I was wondering what that red dot is on the... doesn't look like they've actually managed to clear the car yet. No Toxic there, leaving the session. Unfortunately, wasn't his night tonight, but we look forward to seeing you back next week for the start of the league. So hopefully a little bit better luck there for you. But now, Brent on Inters. I think that had to have been a selection error. But he is going to come into the pits here, so he will be hopeful that the safety car doesn't go in. So all that work done by Tool 8, getting himself a 4.5 second gap in the end. Unfortunately, we do have Junus is teleporting about quite a bit, so as I said before, you really need to look at your connection for next week. Please, it could just be a bad night, but if you're wireless, if you could go wired, because it really is impossible to drive someone when they are teleporting about all over the place. So it looks like Brent has now come in and put his set of tyres on. So I wonder if what he did was put his hards on. Yeah, he's done 1 lap, so he obviously had damage, took his hards off, put a set of inters on, did the 1 lap, and back onto the same set of hards. But he will catch up without a problem now, and I think the safety car will be in. But yeah, this seems to have been the view that most people have had of Tool today. So pretty much been dominant so far. Took qualifying by what, nearly 4/10 of a second over Mamba. Got a cracking start, just disappeared. People have reeled him back in. We've had a virtual safety car which he didn't react well to and lost probably about a second and a half. And then got himself in a 4.5 second lead again, but the safety car has intervened this time. Now be looking at doing quite a few laps on those mediums as well, whereas he was, I think, quite happy on hards for another few laps, and now be looking at just stretching that medium stint if he can. Okay, so safety car is coming in. Tool 8 mate will become the pace car for the time being. When is he going to go? I would have thought. Looks like Junus might have. Yeah, Junus has lost it under traction. I think trying to overheat those tyres. Unfortunately lost a bit and put himself in the wall, but he's didn't look like he had any damage. And Tool is go. We are back to green flag racing. No Jug and Yari battling side by side there, and Yari making the move up into second place. Who's that down there? Stendon, I think. Had a little bit of a wide line there. Keep an eye, got Lanzy just behind. Point 2, Dimex, I think, will be looking at making a move on his teammate, which he did. I think that was choreographed. I think No Jug moving out of the way for Dimex, obviously being on the quicker tyres, the medium 2 laps old. I'm sure they will potentially swap that back towards the end, just as Verstappen and Perez did in Brazil. Anyway, Yari now hunting down Tool 8 mate, but it does have that 3-second penalty. But will be interesting just to see, because Yari is certainly no slouch. Had a poor season by his standards last year, but had a equipment failure, and also sort of dabbled a bit with the PC version. And so he didn't actually have any real stability last year, so I'm hoping he's going to come back strong for us this year. Obviously one of our co-commentators as well, so a shout out to him and a big thank you for doing it, and to Hammers as well, who is commentating on Division 3 tonight. So yeah, it's good to have the comms team. Obviously means that we can bring you live racing, because without you it's we can't. So, but as you know, we've said it before, if anyone fancies giving it a go, it's not too hard to sit here, flip through the cameras and talk utter rubbish for an hour and a half. Ooh, Wesley there, just a little bit late on the brakes. And Tunis, that connection is so bad, it really is going to be impossible. Which I think Wesley is finding now. But we have a move here. Delgusu making the move on Stendon and making it stick as well. So a good move by Delgusu, up into 7th place. So Yari keeping Toolmate honest at the front there, still within that second, so he is within DRS. Mamba picking up another 3-second penalty. So what was looking so good has turned. Yeah, it's just a standard race for Mamba, bless him. Fingers crossed next week. Luck changes. But Mamba is all over the back of Stendon in the McLaren, so he'll be looking at moving his Aston Martin past if he can. and up into 8th place. Tool at the front now, stretching that gap out to 1.2 seconds. So he's there with 45.228. So just fastest lap of the race there, if you don't mind for me, please. Mamba moving up into 8 as Stendon comes into the pits. I'm not sure if that is down to damage or just yeah, front wing damage, unfortunately. So putting Stendon to the back of the pack. Wesley still behind Jonas back there in 10th. Oh, Lanzy's round. Nice little pirouette 360 and a safe return to track there, but that drops him right the way back to 11th position now. So again, a race that was looking so good. Just find yourself elsewhere coming quick. So just having a quick look at warnings and penalties. It looks like I think Yari has another 2 warnings on top of the penalty that he's already got. Too late in the front only has the 1 warning, so it's Yari could find himself pretty quickly getting a 3-second penalty. We have yellow in sector 3. Why do we have a yellow in sector 3? Because Brent has spun his Alfa Romeo, dropping him back to 11. So Lanzy making up a place there already. So a bit further back, Jonas getting past that. Mamba had another issue there because he's lost 2 places. One to Brent has. Brent got disqualified by the looks of it for being on. Oh, this game, honestly, sometimes it's you try and spin yourself around to get back onto, well, facing the right way, and the game disqualifies you for going in the wrong direction. So, Brent, if that happened to you, I can only apologise on behalf of Codemasters, because they certainly won't do it. So it looks like the battle really is for 3rd place at the moment. Yari has pulled out enough of a gap now. Yeah, all 3 seconds. So, but yeah, Yari has pulled out nearly a 6-second gap on Dymex. So even if he does get that additional penalty, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue for him. But it is interesting to see that he can hold on to Tool. I mean, obviously just outside of the DRS zone, but he is keeping him honest. So it shows that Yari's got some good pace this year as well. Good to see the Alpha Tauris in unison together, running around. So just giving each other the toe. But Stav's still keeping honest behind in the Red Bull, so he's certainly not giving up. On where's Yari? Where's Yari? What happened to Yari? I completely missed what happened to Yari. He was quite happy in 2nd place, and then all of a sudden gone. So the Eunice unfortunately ends up in the barrier. I could see that happening, to be honest. It was pretty much more down to his lagging than anything else. But we have another safety car out. So are we going to see some change of tyres? Obviously, it's good for Yari. Going to bring him back into the pack now, but I have no idea what happened to him. Can only assume he made a mistake on his own because he didn't have, when he was over a second behind Tool and had a 6-second gap on No Jug. So can only assume it was an unforced error. But if anyone can work their way back through the field, then Yari can. A quick look at the penalties. So Mamba with the 6 seconds, and Wesley, Yari and Lanzi all just with the 3 seconds. It's going to jump to tyres because I think people are going to come in and going to be 5, 6. I think we're probably looking at soft tyres now to the end of the race. Come another set of mediums. So Dimex is going for mediums as well. Yeah, looks like everybody is bolting on a fresh set of mediums other than Del Gusu, who is on his hards and he's quite happy to keep track position. 7 lap old mediums, so then 7 lap old hards. So they might not be completely worn out. But we'll see what he can do. Stendon taking a gamble onto the softs. I have to admit I might have gone for the softs myself because you're going to be looking at least another lap behind the safety car. 17-18 with the extra wear. I don't think you'd be in too bad a position. He's certainly going to be pacey, but how long they last, well, Stendon will show us soon. Is the safety car coming in? We're approaching the end of sector 2, which is normally when the lights go out, if they're going to go out. But Stendon pretty much caught up at the back, but it's just whether the game has decided everyone has caught up enough. Which it doesn't look like. So no, it's we're going to be looking at another lap under safety car. Del Gusu has come into the pits. He's decided to come into the pits. Could have done that last lap and you'd have kept yourself in around about 5th position, I think. But and then one goes on to the mediums. Again, I probably would have gone softs for these last few laps. I think they would have made it. We're going to have, what, 5 laps to go by the time we reach the end of this lap. Okay, so running order, Tool 8 mate, or Tool 8. I've been calling him Tool 8 mate. I don't think that's his name. I'm just going to call him Tool, so apologies if I've been getting that wrong. But yeah, Tool has basically just been in complete control of this race so far. From the moment qualifying started, he really set the benchmark, probably a second quicker than everybody else. So they got chipped away towards the end. He then put out and improved by another sort of 0.2 to 0.4 clear in qualifying, so quite dominant there. And then literally when the lights went out, he disappeared. And I'll be honest, I don't think anyone else would have seen him again had it not been for the safety cars bunching it back up. Yari back up into second place. Goodness me. Of course, because he pitted and everybody else has come in for fresh. So yeah, Yari now back up into second. So I missed him spinning out of second, and I missed him getting back into second. So at least I am consistent. But yeah, Yari is the only one who has really kept all honest today. Dimac's been consistent in third place, looking to get that podium, but Stav will have something to say about that if he can. Obviously, No Jug dropping down into fifth. I think that was down to the pit stops. Obviously, both in the AlphaTauri sharing the pit. So I think No Jug just lost out. So Mamba recovering into sixth position, but does have that 6-second penalty. Then we've got Wesley Lanzi, Stendon and Del Gusu right at the back. But, oh, Tool! What? Tool! Gee. Well, just went back to him just as he was warming up his tyres a little bit too much, and I think he's just got solid on going now. So he has gone. We are back racing again. So it's certainly a different restart off track, but he's gone. Nearly a second clear of Yari already by turn number 1. Let's have a look what's happening behind. I don't think anybody has made any moves. They have not. So the only one worth watching is Stendon at the back here, because he is going to be rapid to start with on these softs. They are going to switch on quicker than any of the other tyres, build up the heat, and he is going to be really, really quick for a couple of laps. And then the tyre wear will kick in. So really, if he wants to do it, he should do it now. Del Gusu actually finding his way past Stendon. So mediums outperforming the soft tyres at the moment. So Tool has stretched out a second lead already, so he's already broken the DRS. But Yari won't have given up. He'll keep his head down and we'll be chasing that car in front. He will want the win. Yari recently came back from a couple of days of some time away as well. I think he got back just in time last night to represent DTR in the REL Esports. Again, I don't think it went his way last night. I think 2 or 3 incidents with overzealous drivers. I think he makes a mistake of his own as well, but no, very proud to have these guys representing us at esports level, the DTR brand out there. No Jug now looking for a move on Stav up the inside, which he does make, and cleanly as well. So No Jug back up into 4th position. Mamba sniffing around just behind as well, but he also has Wesley behind him. So we got a nice little battle going on here for 4th place. I mean, No Jug, Stephen picking up a time penalty. So don't think he is finding those softs as much to his liking as he was hoping. But we got a nice battle going on for fourth place. Looks like the top three are pretty set, but then I have said that before and then turned around and Yari was from second down to about 11th at the time. Let's hope we don't put a curse. But yeah, it certainly looks like the top three have broken away now with 3.5 seconds clear of No Jug in fourth. DRS now enabled as well. So I think this is where the battling's going to come from. We have positions 4 right the way down to 8, pretty much nose to tail. And Del Guessu not far behind either, looking at closing that gap down to under the second, so he'll be in DRS if he can by the time he gets to the Camel Straight. But here we go, No Jug now leading this a group of cars. Sorry, distracted by the foot figure. And yeah, let's see if we can see any moves. Obviously with 3 laps, including the one that we are on now. As I say, looks like first, second and third are pretty much decided, but fourth place could go to pretty much Mamba is out. Looks like corner number 9, I think it was. I believe that's the corner with no name. I think Mamba's probably got a few names he's going to be calling it at the moment, but we'll see. League starts next week. So Yari still 1.5 seconds behind Dimex, now dropping further back. I wonder if he is going to give the position back to Junus has left the session. So we're down to 9 drivers, started with 15. We have had Brent, who got disqualified for trying to do the right thing and get back on track, going in the wrong direction on track. The game disqualified him. Fox Blue, we lost early on. KVK, Toxic, Junus, and then recently just Black Mamba. We lost at the corner with no name, unfortunately crashing, but will still be classified in 10th position. So not too bad at the end of the day. We're now on board with Wesley, looking to make a move on Stav, which he does nice and cleanly. So Wesley up into 5th position, so be looking forward to his teammate returning next week, Shabby. But yeah, Dimex has dropped right off. I think it's probably just enough to help his teammate out. I think this could be really good teamwork from Dimex. I think he knew he wasn't going to catch the 2 in front of him, could see that his teammate behind was being put under pressure by sort of 4 or 5 people in the DRS. So I think he's dropped back to help him out, getting within his own DRS. So that is fantastic teamwork. We've got Stendon, who has gone round at campus, so not been the day that Stendon would have liked either, but as although it's only pre-season, if it was a league 9th place, he'd be taking himself home a couple of points for his troubles. So I am now going to jump on with Tool for the final lap, unless I see anything else change very, very quickly. But I think Tool deserves a little bit of airtime. So I've not shown too much of him today, but he's just been so dominant. He's disappeared. But has looked absolutely comfortable in his first race for DTR. Will be a awesome addition to Division 1. Will mean we're getting more and more quick drivers now, and it's good to see. I say I think Shabby's not overly happy in Division 1, but I think he would be the first to say that he actually appreciates the competition. But yeah, I expect Yari to be up there this year. Dimex and No Juggers, they are currently in 3rd and 4th. I think they're going to do well this year. Last year suffered a little bit, I think, from inexperience, because obviously both making a huge leap up in divisions. I think they just struggled a little bit with the concept of it, but certainly towards mid-season they were getting competitive, and No Jug qualifying very, very well. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they can do tonight. So here we go. Tool has won the Belgian Grand Prix on his debut. Many congratulations to him. Totally dominant. Yari coming across after a race of ups and downs, coming in 2nd, Dimex 3rd, 4th. Oh, Wesley crashes. Did he cross the finish line? He didn't. Oh, he did. Yeah, he did. He must have done. Yeah, he did. Yeah, so he crashed over the finish line. I thought he crashed before then. Stendon deciding to take a little bit of a different route there. Little bit of fun towards the end of the race. So there we have it. Podium being Tool taking his first win on his debut for the Haas team. Yari coming home in 2nd in the Alpine, and then the AlphaTauri of Dimex will take 3rd place on the podium. No Jug also, as I say, good day for AlphaTauri. I mean, certainly some good teamwork at the end there from Dimex. So dropping back just to give his teammate a bit of a tow, just to help him out. So that just goes to show what kind of team they're going to be this year. You know, look after each other and be very, very strong as well. So there we have the 3 on the podium. Tool, Yari and Dimex celebrating with a nice little bit of champers. So congratulations to them. And good racing, I think, overall tonight. I didn't see anything, you know, a couple of bits that I think we might see some reports perhaps going in for, but we'll have to wait and see. So running through the final standings, Tool taking the win. Yari in 2nd, Dimex in 3rd, DTR, No Jug coming home in 4th. Stavridis picking up a great 5th position for him. Lanzi in 6th, then Delgu Gesu on his debut again in 7th, so a good result from him. Stendon coming home in 8th. Wesley crashing across the finishing line, getting 9th pace. Amamba classified as 10th. Then we have the retirements of Junus, Brent, Toxic, KVKFC and Fox Blue. Well, that